In the gleaming lobby of Sterling Dynamics, Seattle's leading tech conglomerate, where polished shoes click on marble floors and million-dollar deals float through the air like a breeze, a sudden moment froze time. Sophia Carter, a janitor in a plain uniform, was quietly wiping down a touchscreen display when a group of international guests entered, looking lost. Without hesitation, she spoke, switching seamlessly between Japanese, Spanish, and Italian, guiding them with the confidence and grace of a seasoned diplomat. Each word she uttered, each precise response, was a hammer blow shattering the invisible wall between her low-ranking role and the extraordinary talent within. A few steps away, Ethan Warwick, CEO of Sterling Dynamics, stopped dead in his tracks. He, who had conquered global deals and steered the company through economic storms, had never heard any employee, let alone a janitor, speak 7 languages as if they were a native tongue. But he wasn't just shocked. He felt a surge of anger mixed with shame. How could someone like Sophia, with talent that could shape boardroom meetings, be stuck cleaning basements for a decade? He approached, his eyes sharp but curious. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice low but weighty. Sophia looked up, calm but wary. "Sophia Carter, sir," she replied, without a hint of arrogance. Warwick didn't let her walk away. He invited her to his office, a place no janitor had ever set foot in. The lobby fell silent, as if everyone sensed something monumental was about to unfold. But no one, not even Warwick or Sophia, could have predicted that this moment would not only change her fate, but shake Sterling Dynamics to its core, dismantling rigid biases and sparking a revolution in how we view talent. Stay with us, because this story will keep you glued to the screen. Hit that like button, subscribe now, and find out what happens when a CEO realizes pure gold has been hiding right under his nose. You won't want to miss a second. The moment Sophia Carter switched effortlessly between Japanese, Spanish, and Italian in the dazzling lobby of Sterling Dynamics wasn't just a conversation. It was a bolt of lightning tearing through the invisible veil that had concealed her talent for a decade. At the headquarters of Seattle's top tech firm, where power and ambition reign, Sophia's act halted Ethan Warwick, the formidable CEO, in his tracks, his eyes flashing with awe and shame. She wasn't just a janitor. She was a forgotten treasure, a linguistic genius who could shape international deals. But to understand why this moment became a catalyst for a revolution within Sterling Dynamics, we need to dive deeper into the setting, the people, and the pain that shaped this inspiring story. Sterling Dynamics is a beacon of innovation and power in Seattle, a shimmering glass tower where executives in pricey suits stride through, carrying million-dollar dreams. The atmosphere buzzes with the clack of keyboards, ringing phones, and high-stakes meetings that shape tech's future. But behind the glitz lies a harsh hierarchy, where low-level staff, from receptionists to janitors, are nearly invisible. They glide through hallways, cleaning, serving, and vanishing before anyone bothers to learn their names. Into this world stepped Sophia Carter, a 34-year-old woman with calloused hands and pensive eyes, working quietly for 10 years. She pushed a cleaning cart through gleaming floors, wiped fingerprints off glass doors, and stayed silent, as if her existence were merely part of the backdrop. Sophia wasn't always a janitor. Born in Cleveland, Ohio, she was the daughter of an auto mechanic and an elementary school teacher, raised in a modest but loving home. Her parents, though strapped for cash, stressed the value of knowledge. Sophia was a star student, earning a scholarship to Ohio State University, where she pursued linguistics with a burning passion. She taught herself 7 languages: Japanese, Spanish, Italian, French, Russian, Korean, German, not just to excel, but to feel part of a bigger world. But life didn't follow her plans. At 22, her father died of cancer, and she dropped her master's program to care for her mother. A year later, her mother passed, leaving Sophia with a broken heart and a young daughter to raise. Penniless and alone, she worked odd jobs, from grocery clerk to elderly caregiver, before landing the janitorial gig at Sterling Dynamics. It wasn't her dream, but it paid the rent and gave her daughter a chance at a safe childhood. Despite her janitor's uniform, Sophia never abandoned languages. She borrowed library books, listened to podcasts at night, and read international news on her phone during breaks. Each new word, each fluent phrase, was how she held on to hope, a sense that she still had worth, even if the world didn't see it. When she spoke to the international guests in the lobby, it wasn't showing off, it was instinct, a way to connect with strangers in their own tongue. But that act, though natural, was a silent declaration of war against the system that overlooked her. Sophia was torn between dreams and reality. She'd once aspired to be a diplomat, translator, or professor, but single motherhood and mounting bills made those dreams feel distant. Each night, cleaning empty offices, she wondered if anyone would ever see her beyond the cart and uniform. Ethan Warwick, at 45, is an ambitious CEO with a humble past. Raised in a small Michigan town, son of a mechanic, he worked 3 jobs to afford college. He knew what it felt like to be dismissed, to not belong in powerful rooms. That drove him to build Sterling Dynamics into a tech giant, but also blinded him to the inequities in his own company. Warwick always spoke of global talent in speeches, but he didn't realize that talent might be mopping floors right under him. Hearing Sophia wield 7 languages, he felt not just awe but shame. He faced an internal conflict. How could he, once overlooked himself, have let someone like Sophia become invisible? That moment awakened a responsibility in him, not just to right the wrong for Sophia, but to rethink how his company valued its people. The Sterling Dynamics setting, with its stark hierarchy and competitive vibe, is the perfect stage for this story. It highlights the contrast between Sophia's extraordinary talent and her menial role, between Warwick's ambition and the system's blindness. Sophia isn't just a janitor. She's a symbol of those dimmed by class and social bias. Warwick, with his own history of being underestimated, holds the potential to be a game changer, but he must navigate internal barriers to do so. Their brief exchange in the lobby wasn't just a meeting. It was the start of a revolution, where a janitor could break invisible walls and force a company to confront itself. Empathy is built through Sophia's pain. The years of sacrifice, the unfulfilled dreams, and the quiet persistence to hold onto herself amid hardship. The audience can't help but feel outrage at the system that ignored her, but they're also curious. What will Warwick do after witnessing her talent? Will he send her back to her cleaning cart, or act to change her fate and the company's? The answer lies in the next steps, where Sophia faces bigger challenges, and Warwick must battle the very system he built. Stay with us, because this story will touch your heart, reigniting your belief that talent, however hidden, always finds a way to shine, and a true leader knows how to open doors for those who deserve it. The moment Sophia Carter showcased her extraordinary linguistic talent in the dazzling lobby of Sterling Dynamics wasn't just a casual chat. It was a blaze erupting, ripping through the veil of prejudice and exposing the waste of talent at the heart of Seattle's top tech firm. When Ethan Warwick, the powerful CEO, paused at Sophia's fluent command of 7 languages, he wasn't just stunned. He was torn by a painful truth. A brilliant mind like hers had been trapped in a janitor's role for a decade. That brief encounter lit the fuse for a fierce clash between hidden talent and an unjust system, thrusting both Sophia and Warwick into a journey that would reshape not just their fates, but the culture of Sterling Dynamics. The conflict ignited the moment Warwick invited Sophia to his office, a place no janitor had ever dreamed of entering. The atmosphere in the luxurious room, with glass walls overlooking Seattle's skyline, was thick with curiosity and tension. Warwick sat across from Sophia, his eyes sharp but not judgmental. "Ms. Carter," he began, his voice low but earnest, "I just heard you speak 7 languages like they're your native tongue. How does someone like you end up cleaning here?" Sophia, with the calm forged through years of hardship, met his gaze. "Sir," she replied evenly, "I do what I have to do to pay the rent and raise my daughter." But Warwick wasn't satisfied with that answer. He wanted the truth, to understand how a talent like hers had been buried under a janitor's uniform. Sophia took a deep breath. as if drawing strength from painful memories. She shared her journey, from a promising girl in Cleveland, winning a college scholarship, to sacrificing her master's dreams to care for her dying parents. She spoke of her daughter, of scraping by with odd jobs to keep them afloat, and of teaching herself languages at night to hold onto a sense of worth. "I'm not bitter," she said, her eyes unwavering. "I did what I had to do. But if you're asking why I'm here, the answer is, no one ever saw me beyond the cleaning cart." Her words cut like a knife, leaving Warwick silent. He, who'd once been dismissed himself, felt a wave of shame. He'd built Sterling Dynamics into a titan, yet let talents like Sophia slip through the cracks right under his nose. The conflict wasn't just between Sophia and the system. It was also Warwick's internal battle. He realized that his company, despite boasting about global talent, had failed to recognize the gems within its own ranks. But to make change, he had to face resistance from his own senior management, who saw Sophia as an outsider unworthy of their world. Right after their talk, Warwick called Sophia into an urgent meeting with Japanese partners when the company's lead interpreter canceled last minute. "Can you handle it?" he asked, eyes full of expectation. Sophia nodded, though her heart raced. "Japanese? I can do that," she replied, her voice steady but not boastful. The meeting was a trial by fire. In the conference room, Japanese executives were frustrated over a mistranslated contract threatening to derail a multi-million-dollar deal. Sterling Dynamics managers, with skeptical glances, watched Sophia enter, still carrying traces of her janitor's uniform. But when she spoke, everything shifted. Her voice was smooth, fluent, not only translating accurately, but explaining cultural nuances, easing tensions and restoring the partners' trust. She spotted a critical translation error, a term misunderstood that could have killed the deal, and fixed it on the spot, leaving the room stunned. A Japanese executive, with a rare smile, turned to Warwick. "Who is she?" he asked in English. "The best we've got," Warwick replied, his eyes glinting with pride. That moment was a turning point. Warwick didn't just see Sophia's skill, he saw a chance to right a wrong. Right after the meeting, he called her to his office and made a bold offer, a new role, global relations coordinator, created just to harness her talent. "You deserve this," he said, his voice firm, "and this company needs you." Sophia, though stunned, didn't jump at the offer. She looked at him, eyes searching. "Are you sure? I don't have degrees, no office experience." Warwick smiled. "You got something better, skill and heart. That's what I need." After a moment's silence, Sophia nodded, her voice trembling slightly. "Okay, I'll try." But Warwick's decision wasn't universally welcomed. Social pressure erupted as word spread. Some senior managers, led by Operations Director Margaret Holt, fiercely objected. "She's a janitor," Holt snapped in an internal meeting, eyes blazing. "We can't hand international relations to someone with no degree, no resume." A few executives nodded, muttering about reputational risk and company standards. The skepticism spread from boardrooms to hallways, with some employees feeling threatened by Sophia's meteoric rise. "I bought a master's and waited 2 years for a promotion," one grumbled. "What's she got to get a free pass?" Doubt didn't just come from above. Some of Sophia's old janitorial coworkers felt she'd abandoned them, creating an invisible rift. Sophia felt the weight of the stares and whispers. She knew she was stepping into a new arena where every move was scrutinized, but she didn't let the doubt shake her. She drew on the resilience that had carried her through tough years, determined to prove her worth not with words but with actions. In her first week, she worked tirelessly, fixing mistranslated contracts, guiding Korean partners through a tense negotiation, and building ties with Russian clients with charm and precision. Each success was a blow against prejudice, but it also fueled hostility from those like Holt, who saw her rise as a threat to their own status. Warwick, meanwhile, faced pushback from the board. Some members called his decision reckless and unprofessional, demanding he reconsider. But Warwick stood firm. He saw in Sophia not just a talented employee, but proof of what the company could achieve if it looked beyond resumes and degrees. He called an emergency board meeting, presenting Sophia's early results, from saving the Japanese deal to boosting international partnerships. "She's not just our future," he said, his voice compelling. "She's a reminder we've been overlooking talent right in this building." This conflict wasn't just about Sophia and Warwick. It was a war between a rigid system and human potential. Warwick's decision to promote Sophia was a declaration against bias, but also a call for the company to rethink how it valued worth. Sophia, with her talent and grit, proved she didn't just deserve the new role, she could lead change. But the road ahead wasn't easy. Opposition from Holt and others would thrust her into a bigger challenge, where she'd fight not just for herself, but for all those the system had ignored. Stay with us, because this story will touch your heart, reigniting your belief that one voice, however small, can shake an empire. Sophia Carter's triumph in proving her extraordinary linguistic talent at Sterling Dynamics wasn't just a personal breakthrough. It was a blaze that roared, incinerating rigid biases and lighting a new path for the company. In the gleaming headquarters of Seattle's top tech firm, where Sophia once quietly pushed a cleaning cart through polished halls, she now stood at the heart of a quiet revolution. With her ability to speak 7 languages like a native and the resilience forged through a decade of sacrifice, Sophia turned an unexpected opportunity into a declaration of war against an unjust system. Under the guidance of Ethan Warwick, a driven but heartfelt CEO, Sophia's journey didn't just change her fate. It rocked Sterling Dynamics culture, inspiring the broader community. The transformation kicked off right after Sophia aced her first test as an interpreter in an urgent meeting with Japanese partners. Her act of fixing a critical translation error and easing diplomatic tensions didn't just save a multi-million-dollar deal. It left the room speechless with awe. Ethan Warwick, watching from the corner, didn't just see a skilled employee. He saw a new vision for Sterling Dynamics, where talent wasn't bound by titles or degrees. But he knew turning that vision into reality meant facing internal barriers, from management's biases to the board's doubts. His decision was bold, creating a new role, Global Relations Coordinator, just for Sophia. "You don't just deserve this," he told her, eyes shining with belief. "You're who we need to shape our future." Sophia, heart pounding at the offer, didn't accept immediately. She looked at Warwick, eyes probing, as if weighing whether this was a fleeting promise. "I don't have degrees, no office experience," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "Can I really do this?" Warwick smiled, his tone certain. "You've done more than that for 10 years with a mop and 7 languages. I believe in you." After a moment's pause, Sophia nodded, her voice firming. "All right, I'll do it." But she didn't know this decision would thrust her into a firestorm of opposition, where she'd fight not just for herself, but for all those overlooked by the system. Sophia's promotion sent shockwaves through Sterling Dynamics. Word spread like wildfire, from basement corridors to plush boardrooms. Some employees cheered, whispering in awe about the woman who speaks 7 languages. But not everyone was on board. Margaret Holt, the operations director with 20 years' experience and a steely gaze, led a fierce backlash. In a board meeting, she stood, voice dripping with contempt. "We're making a mockery of this company," she snapped, glaring at Warwick. "A janitor as Global Relations Coordinator? No degree, no resume. This is an unacceptable risk." A few executives nodded, muttering about company standards and professional image. The doubt spread, with mid-level staff feeling threatened, griping that they'd toiled years without a leap like Sophia's. "What's so special about her?" one muttered in the break room. "Just because she speaks a few languages?" The social pressure weighed on Sophia, but she didn't let it break her. She tapped into the tenacity that had carried her through tough times, determined to prove her worth through action, not words. In her first week, she worked relentlessly, fixing botched contracts, leading calls with Korean and German partners, and forging client relationships with poise and precision. Each win was a strike against bias, but it also fueled resentment from Holt, who saw Sophia's rise as a threat to her own power. In a strategy meeting, Holt openly challenged Sophia before the board. "Ms. Carter," she said, her voice icy, "what experience do you have handling international deals? Or are we just banking on your self-taught skills?" Sophia, eyes steady, replied, "I fixed 4 mistranslated contracts this week, Ms. Holt. I got our Japanese partners to sign after a 3-month stalemate. If that's not experience, I don't know what you're looking for." The room fell silent, and Holt, though clinging to her arrogance, had no comeback. The showdown with Holt was a turning point. Warwick, seeing the growing hostility, doubled down. He didn't just defend Sophia. He launched a bold initiative, Unseen Talent, aimed at spotting and promoting overlooked employees across the company. He named the main conference room the Sophia Carter Room, a declaration that talent didn't need a title to be valued. The program quickly bore fruit. Within 6 months, 150 low-level staff, from janitors to receptionists, were promoted from project coordinators to translation specialists. Outsourcing translation costs dropped 75%. International client satisfaction skyrocketed, and Sterling Dynamics was hailed as a most innovative employer in tech. The company culture shifted, with employees starting to see each other with fresh respect, unbound by roles or resumes. But the biggest challenge came when Holt, unwilling to accept defeat, schemed to oust Sophia. She sent a petition to the board, accusing Sophia of being unqualified and disruptive. Holt even leaked false info to local media, calling Sophia's promotion a PR stunt. The rumors spread fast, sowing doubt among some employees about Warwick's judgment. Sophia felt the weight, but she didn't back down. She requested a public board meeting, where she laid out her results, new contracts, stronger global ties, and her personal story, from late-night language study to a decade of sacrifice. "I'm not here to take anyone's chance," she said, her voice trembling but fierce. "I'm here to show talent doesn't need a degree to shine." Her words struck the board's hearts, and Holt, left with nothing to counter, resigned in disgrace. Warwick, moved by Sophia's courage, reshaped his leadership. He formed a diversity council, giving every level of employee a voice, and rolled out Unseen Talent nationwide. He owned his past mistakes, vowing never to let talent go unnoticed again. Sophia, once an invisible janitor, became a leader not just at Sterling Dynamics, but as a symbol of change. She began consulting other firms on spotting hidden talent, sharing her story at tech conferences. But she never forgot her roots. She kept her old janitorial badge as a reminder of her journey. Sophia's impact rippled far. Unseen Talent inspired the tech industry, with dozens of companies adopting similar models. A California janitor became a project manager after Sophia's program spotted his fluency in 3 languages. A New York receptionist turned data analyst, inspired by her story. Sophia didn't just change Sterling Dynamics. She changed how we value people, proving talent can bloom anywhere if given a chance. Stay with us, because this story will touch your heart, reigniting your belief that one person with grit and talent can shake an entire system. Sophia Carter's journey didn't end with breaking down prejudice at Sterling Dynamics or proving her linguistic brilliance. It opened a new chapter where her courage and persistence became a flame lighting up an entire community. From an unexpected moment in the dazzling lobby of Seattle's top tech firm, when Sophia fluidly switched between 7 languages to help international guests, she sparked a quiet revolution. With the backing of Ethan Warwick, a passionate CEO, and the game-changing Unseen Talent program, Sophia didn't just transform her own fate. She inspired thousands to see human worth beyond titles. But her story isn't just about personal triumph. It's about the profound message that true greatness lies in opening doors for others, and how a once invisible woman shook an industry to make it happen. As Unseen Talent gained momentum, Sterling Dynamics became a trailblazer for innovation in the tech industry. Within a year, 150 low-level employees, from janitors to receptionists, were promoted, taking on roles from translation specialists to project managers. Outsourcing translation costs plummeted, international partnerships strengthened, and the company was hailed as the most innovative employer at tech conferences. The Sophia Carter Room, with her name gleaming on a plaque outside, became a symbol of hope, reminding new hires that talent doesn't need a title to shine. Sophia, now Global Relations Coordinator, didn't just manage international deals, she advised Warwick on building a fairer culture. She worked tirelessly, fixing mistranslated contracts, leading negotiations from Tokyo to Berlin, and bringing a grace that commanded respect. But Sophia's path wasn't smooth. As her reputation grew, a new challenge emerged from the media. Some tech outlets, led by influential commentator Martin Caldwell, slammed unseen talent as unfair favoritism and a PR stunt. In a viral article, Caldwell called Sophia's promotion a hasty decision, implying she was chosen for her sob story rather than real skill. The piece sparked debate, with some Sterling Dynamics employees feeling insulted, while others began questioning the program's fairness. A wave of negative comments flooded social media, with the hashtag #UnseenFavoritism trending. Sophia felt her heart sink. She'd fought to prove her worth, but now it seemed the world was judging her. Instead of retreating, Sophia chose to face it head-on. She proposed a nationwide conference, Unlocking Hidden Brilliance, inviting tech leaders, journalists, and employees from all levels. Warwick backed the idea, though he knew it was a gamble. "You sure?" he asked, eyes concerned. "The media could tear you apart." Sophia smiled, her voice resolute. "Let them try. I'm not here to stay quiet." The conference, held at a Seattle convention center, drew hundreds, including Caldwell. Sophia took the stage, not with anger, but with sincerity. "I used to be a janitor," she began, her voice steady but powerful. "No master's degree, no fancy suits. But I had 7 languages, 10 years of persistence, and a dream that never died. Unseen talent isn't favoritism. It's recognizing what's always been there, just waiting to be seen." She presented data, promoted employees, rising revenue, and success stories from unseen talent. She shared about a Vietnamese security guard, now a data analyst, a receptionist turned project manager. She invited them on stage to tell their own stories. When a young employee said, "Sophia showed me I didn't need to be someone else to succeed," the room fell silent, then erupted in applause. Caldwell, in the front row, bowed his head, his expression shifting. After the event, he approached Sophia, voice hoarse. "I was wrong," he said. "I want to help spread your program." From critic to ally, he wrote a retraction and championed unseen talent on tech forums. The conference didn't just silence critics. It launched an education movement, with dozens of companies adopting similar models. Warwick, inspired by Sophia's courage, transformed his leadership. He formed a diversity council, giving every employee level of voice, and expanded unseen talent globally. He owned his past mistakes, vowing never to overlook talent again. "Sophia didn't just change the company," he said at a conference. Eyes on her. "She changed me." Warwick began sharing Sophia's story in speeches, urging other leaders to rethink their teams. He also funded a Sophia Carter Scholarship, helping employees' kids pursue college. Sophia, now a symbol of change, didn't let fame pull her from her roots. She kept advising Sterling Dynamics while speaking at universities and tech summits. At a University of Washington lecture, she stood before hundreds of students, eyes shining with conviction. "I used to think I was invisible," she said, voice trembling but strong. "But I learned your worth isn't in titles or how others see you. It's in what you bring and how you open doors for others." Students stood, applauding, many wiping tears. She didn't just share her journey. She inspired them to believe in their own potential. Sophia's influence stretched beyond tech. Unseen talent became a model for other industries, from retail to healthcare. A California janitor became a manager after the program spotted her fluency in 3 languages. A New York warehouse worker turned logistics expert, inspired by Sophia. Civil rights groups honored her with the Social Innovator Award, but for Sophia, the real reward was letters from employees nationwide. One wrote, "Thank you, Sophia. I thought I wasn't good enough. Now I'm a manager, and I'll help others like you did." Another thanked her. You gave me the courage to study again. I'm learning Japanese because of you. Those letters, kept carefully, were proof she didn't just change a system. She changed lives. Here's the lesson for us all. Don't let titles or appearances dim talent. Ask, listen, and give everyone a chance to shine. True strength isn't standing at the top. It's opening doors so others can rise. Sophia didn't just win for herself. She won for the invisible, the overlooked, ensuring the door she opened would never close. Have you ever seen hidden talent in someone? Share your story in the comments. Hit that subscribe button and share this video to spread the message of recognition and hope. This is Pride Chronicles, where no talent goes unnoticed. Let's keep lighting the world with courage and fairness together.